Welcome along. We begin our roundup of week 14 at the Parc des Princes, where leaders Paris Saint-Germain eased to victory over Lille to stay comfortably clear at the top. Neymar was back after a 6-week absence, but this one was all about the Argentines. Mauro ICARDI putting PSG ahead on 17 minutes with his 10th goal in 9 games. Idrissa Gueye providing the assist for ICARDI, who scored 4 of his 6 league goals from inside the 6-yard box. Angel Di Maria then swept in a superb second after good work from Neymar and Julian Draxler. No PSG player has had a hand in more goals this season than the former Real Madrid man, who scored 6 and set up 6 more. Job done for PSG, who are still 8 points clear of Marseille. Focus now switches to Tuesday's Champions League clash with Real in the Spanish capital. Marseille needed 76 minutes to find a way past 10-man Toulouse, who had Steven Moreira sent off before half-time. They finally made the breakthrough thanks to a gorgeous through ball from Dimitri Payet for another Argentine, Dario Benedetto. He joins ICARDI and Di Maria on 6 goals. Nemanja Radonic then opened his Ligue and Conforama account in fine style, the Serbian off the mark in his 27th top-flight outing. 3 wins on the bounce for Marseille, who remain the best of the rest. Angers are still flying high on the podium after a narrow win at home to Nîmes. Visiting goalkeeper Paul Bernardoni had already made a host of saves when Thomas Mangani got the game's only goal on 67 minutes. It wasn't the prettiest that you'll see this season, but enough to earn Angers all 3 points. Only his 6th goal from open play in Ligue and Conforama out of a total of 16. A 7th win in 14 for Angers. They have now taken a league-high 19 points from a possible 24 on home soil. Bordeaux moved up to 4th after coming from behind to beat Monaco. The Principality side began brightly and took the lead on 15 minutes when Wissam Ben Yedder teed up Islam Slimani. The Algerian also up to half a dozen goals for the campaign. But Bordeaux drew level on the half-hour mark as Pablo powered in Nicolas de Préville's corner, his 3rd goal from a set-piece this term. Slimani then went from hero to zero, conceding a penalty midway through the second half for handling this de Préville free kick. He was even given his marching orders after getting a 2nd yellow card. De Préville then celebrating his 200th Ligue and Conforama outing in style with an assist and a goal. 2-1 it finished. Saint-Etienne and Montpellier are 5th and 6th after they played out a goalless draw at Geoffroy Guichard. The host's best chance came on the counter-attack in the first half. Denis Bouanga feeding Arnaud Nordin, but his effort came crashing back off the woodwork. Stéphane Ruffier was making his 304th top-flight appearance here, a new record for a Saint-Etienne goalkeeper, and he celebrated that milestone with one of the saves of the weekend, denying Gaëtan Laborde. They there remain unbeaten under Claude Puel. Reims needed just 7 minutes to take the lead away to Metz from this Mathieu Cafaro free kick. Confusion in the defensive ranks, allowing Axel Disasi to fire in his first Ligue and Conforama goal, and Reims' first since the 19th of October. But Metz grabbed an equaliser 2 minutes after half-time. Stopula Sunzu teeing up Adama Traoré for a first goal since joining on loan from Monaco. 1-1, a 4th league game without victory for both sides. Khalifa Koulibaly scored his first goal since mid-September to give Nantes the lead in Brest, and there was an air of accidental Zlatan about it. A neat bit of improvisation from the Malian for his 4th of the campaign. But the dominant Canaries were undone by an error from goalkeeper Alban Lafont on 68 minutes. Brilliant work here from Irvin Cardona down the left flank. And Lafont was anticipating a cross, but Cardona fired straight in for 1-1. And Nantes are now winless in 5. Lyon moved back into the top half of the table with a hard-fought victory over Nice. Jeff REINE-ADELAIDE opening his account for the club on 10 minutes with a fine low finish. Moussa DEMBELE then won a penalty after being brought down by Christophe Hérault. The France under-21 international dusting himself off and stroking home his 10th goal of the season from the penalty spot, going top of the Ligue and Conforama scoring charts. Well, Lyon had Fernando Marçal sent off for a kung fu kick on 34 minutes, but it took Nice until the 78th to reduce the arrears through Kasper DOLBERG. Too little too late as it finished 2-1. Dijon moved out of the relegation zone with a deserved victory over Rennes. It was the Brittany side who took the lead though just before the hour. Rafinha staying onside and coolly sweeping in his 2nd goal in as many outings. The Brazilian injuring himself though in the process. Frédéric Samaritano then came off the bench to turn the game for Dijon. He brought them level on 70 minutes with his first Ligue 1 Conforama goal since the 14th of May 2017. Michael Alphonse with the assist. And Samaritano then went from taker to maker, setting up Mounir Chouiar for the winning goal. 2-1 the final score as Rennes slipped back into the bottom half of the table. Not only had Strasbourg failed to win away from home this season, they hadn't even managed to score a single goal on the road. But all that changed on Saturday as they claimed an emphatic victory in Amiens. Anthony Cassie was the man who finally ended their scoring drought of almost 10 hours with his first professional goal. Ludovic Ajorc then raced clear to add a second on 56 minutes, making it 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 2 outings. Strasbourg getting their third on 72 minutes. Adrien Thomasson lifting the ball over Regis Gertner, and it went down as his goal, even if Lebo Matiba was there to make sure. After scoring 7 goals in their first 12 games, Strasbourg have now notched 8 in their last 2. Nuno da Costa coming off the bench to round out the party here with this brilliant header. 4-0, and Strasbourg finally off the mark away from home. So all the results from week 14 with 22 goals scored. No problems for PSG against Lille. Lyon and Marseille having to work a bit harder to see off Nice and Toulouse. Wins elsewhere for Angers, Bordeaux, Strasbourg and Dijon, as well as 3 draws. PSG are still 8 points clear of Marseille at the top, with Angers staying on the podium. Bordeaux make the most of the draw between Saint-Etienne and Montpellier to move up into 4th place. Lyon back in the top half, level on points with Lille. Nîmes remain bottom, although they still have a game in hand with Rennes to come in January. They're joined in the relegation zone by Metz and Toulouse, but it is still extremely tight throughout the table, with just 10 points separating 2nd from 17th. After this week's European fixtures, Marseille kick off week 15 at home to Brest. Lyon go to Strasbourg on Saturday, with Lille, Angers and Bordeaux in action that evening. The big Sunday night game sees Monaco host PSG in the Principality.